Another day, another story. Natasha and her little brother Sergunya stood outside the kitchen door and argued with each other in loud whispers. "You go," Natasha insisted, "you're small, your mother will listen to you." "You fell?" Sergunya whispered, "I'm not going, you go." While the children were fussing about the door and trying to decide which of them should go to their mother with the petition, their mother noticed them and called out, "Natasha, what are you pushing here?" Natasha began, and, lowering her black fluffy eyelashes, came forward. "We want sweets," she blurted out without any introduction. On hearing such a request, the mother turned away from the children and did not answer and went about her business. "Will you buy us candy?" Natasha said, "Just a little, that's how much." And the girl opened both hands, which should have meant the number 10. "Children," answered the mother with a sigh, "I told you that we have no money for candy right now. I don't know where to get money for bread and how to reach Dad's salary, and you're asking for candy." Natasha and Sergunya bowed their heads. It was not the first time they had come to Mom with such a request, and they heard the same answer. And how they wanted to eat candy. "Well, then," Natasha suddenly perked up, "we'll ask Daddy to buy us candy when he gets home from work." "I'm afraid that Daddy can't help you either," Mom stopped the dreamer. "And who can?" Natasha wouldn't let up. "Well, if you want candy so badly and can't wait 3 days, I suggest you pray to God and tell him the problem. He can always help." "Yes," said Serchunka, "Yusuf is good, and he has lots of candy." "Come on, Sergey, hurry up," Natasha pulled her brother by the hand, "let's go and ask Jesus to give us some money and for Mommy to buy us some sweets." And the children went into the room. But suddenly Natasha stopped and turned to her mother and asked, "And if Jesus gives us money, will you buy us candy today?" "I will," Mom replied and smiled. Natasha came into the room, covered her head with a kerchief, as her mother does, and then the children knelt and prayed in all seriousness. More precisely, Natasha was the only one praying, while Sergey, as it seemed to her, was only sniffing loudly and muttering to himself unintelligibly. "Jesus," the girl prayed, closing her eyes, "please give us money. We are so hungry for candy. When you give us the money, we will ask Mommy to buy us some cows and swallows and some delicious chocolate candies. We'll be good, and we'll share with each other, and we won't quarrel." After a little silence, she said, "Amen." "Amen," repeated Serchunka. The children knelt for some time, as if waiting for an answer from heaven, but there was no answer. "Sergunya," Natasha said sternly, "you must have prayed badly, so Jesus did not give us the money." "I was wrong," objected Sergunya, and looked down. "Well, then we're doing something wrong," Natasha concluded. "Maybe we should, like at the meeting, first sing and then pray." The girl got up from her knees and went over to the bookshelf. There were several songbooks and a large leather-bound Bible. Natasha chose a collection of songs, went back to her brother, sat down comfortably on the sofa and opened the book. She could not read yet, though she already knew a few letters and could count to 10, but at least she knew some of the psalms by heart. Not all verses and not in order, but some she could sing from memory. Serchunka sat down beside his sister and, as if he knew the letters well, bowed his head over the same book. A few more minutes passed while the children were deciding which of them would hold the open book so that they could both sing comfortably. Then the singers spent a few more minutes deciding which psalm they would sing. Finally, having found common ground, the boy and the girl sang the well-known and frequently sung psalm, "Lord, I am a poor child." After singing a few verses, Natasha expertly turned over several pages and, pointing her finger at the first number she saw, said, "And now let's sing about the good shepherd who was looking for the sheep." At first, as it seemed to the girl, the singing did not go well at all. Serchunka sang too quietly, then too loudly, then completely interfered with her singing. But over time, things got better, and the singing began to seem harmonious to the children. After singing about the shepherd and the sheep, about the storm on the sea and the stars in the sky, Natasha turned a few pages again and, the children froze. In the songbook, on the page they opened, there was a bill of money. Without thinking twice, Natasha snatched the money from the book and, waving it over her head, ran into the kitchen. Behind her, overcoming his clumsiness, hurried Serchunka. "Mama," the girl shouted, "Jesus gave us money for candy. You promised us that you would buy candy if Jesus gave us money." The mother looked in amazement, now at her daughter, now at the money she never stopped waving. "Where did you get the money?" Mom asked in amazement. "Jesus gave us," Natasha gibbered. I said, "Where did you get the money?" Mom sternly repeated her question. "We sang, and then Jifith gave us the money," said Sir Junka. "It was in the songbook," Natasha explained, "we found it there. Will you buy us some sweets?" Mom slowly took the money from Natasha's hands. "Here, my dears, not only for candy, here is enough for bread, and milk, and for many other things. And not just for one day, but probably for a whole week." And, as if she were talking to herself, she added, "I don't know how they could have been there." "We were praying, Mummy," Natasha fussed. "That's not surprising. We asked Jesus for money, and he gave it to us." But Mom had other ideas. She assumed that Dad had once put it there himself and forgotten it. Or maybe a friend had put the money in Dad's collection during the service to do good. Although, Mom concluded, God can do miracles, and nothing is impossible for him. And putting on her coat and boots, she said to the children, "Wait," and left for the store.